everybody. Welcome to our group discussion of the recent Disney explosion of just news. My God. I was so stressed watching this thing. I was just sitting at my keyboard like, stop, please. Please. I can't take it. And then the funny part was they hadn't even touched Marvel yet at that point when I was feeling like that. They hadn't even got the Marvel. So what we're here to do, I got my crew here with me. We're about to go down through everything from Disney all the way to Marvel, because Marvel is really the last thing. We're gonna touch on some of the same stuff I touched if you guys watch my personal recap video, but I want to get the perspective on everything. So one of the first things he said was we're gonna be doing 10 new Marvel series over the next few years, 10 new Star Wars series over the next few years. Disney and between Disney and Pixar themselves, they're going to have 15 each. 15 each. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pieces of IP dropping on Disney Plus and theaters in the next couple of years. And this does include some of the stuff that we already know is coming out. So it's not like an additional 10. This is part of all that as a whole. So new movie coming out from Disney, Raya and the Last Dragon. I absolutely have loved this trailer. Can we say something about Awkwafina real quick? How many times did they mention this girl's name to be casted on something during this presentation? She make her a Disney princess. She is voicing stuff. She's in stuff. She's a part of stuff. Like Awkwafina making a name for herself out here in these streets. Clay, what do you think about Awkwafina?
Honestly, it's hard to say, really. I mean, she's definitely been doing a lot of really good work. She's definitely been getting herself out there. It's crazy what she's been up to. So you gotta love it, man. You really do.
Absolutely, Jeremy. You gotta love Awkwafina out there.
Yeah, bro. Hey, man. The theme of 2020 is secure the bag, and that is definitely what she's doing. So yeah. Get your money, boo boo. Get your money.
Absolutely, man. Another thing we got coming up, but Raya and the Last Dragon will be in theaters and Disney Plus, so look out for that. Adult content is coming to Disney Plus under the Star label. So all of your Fox movies and all of those properties that they're on that are R-rated, including stuff like Deadpool, will be put under the Star label. So basically another tab is going to pop up when you open up Disney Plus, like you got your Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, and then it's going to be Star. So you'll be able to click that. Will be parental control guidelines on it and everything. You'll be able to watch all that content. Did y'all ever think that that type of content will be coming to Disney Plus?
Honestly, I was like, it was a matter of time. I felt like, first off, Disney owns the universe. So let's just keep it 100. But it would be a gross oversight to not include the things that are for everyone. And I think that was what they was going for with Disney Plus. They wanted to, incorporate everything for the family, and that includes adults. Because when people see the Disney logo, of course you're going to think kids, superheroes, and now they're, getting to like Star Wars taking the forefront. But now with us getting these more mature rated content, I look forward to it, man. Like, this is it, bro. This is gonna be people's one-stop shop. Yeah. And I think the fact when this gets public, when they start announcing titles, more original series under the Star label, I expect shares to expand exponentially, because people will feel like, what else do I need? My kids are covered. I'm covered. People that come over are covered. This is all we need.
What about
you? Absolutely. And that's what he was just touching on there, and I definitely want to say this. It's about time, honestly, because all these years of Disney, and it's been a joke for a while, and at the same time it's kind of leaning towards kind of being a little bit skeevy, that a lot of these adult humor jokes are being thrown into these movies left and right. And even though Disney is targeted at children, they don't want to add that in there, or they add that in there anyway and kind of still try to pander to the family thing. But at the same time, when you look at it and the fact that it was rather targeted at children, that left kind of a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So honestly, it's really about time that they started doing this kind of thing. that they actually make something that they just blatantly show out there. This is for adults. Period.
Yeah.
They're not beating around the bush anymore. They're not saying it anymore, or they're not hiding anymore. They're not hiding it behind backwater humor. They're just saying this is adult. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And that's really good. So now we're not having to, we can aim at kids what kids need to be aimed at and leave it at kids. And we can aim at families what the families need to be aimed at. And then we can aim at adults what adults need to be aimed at. That's fantastic. So no, I'm with it.
And I think this was really a push that they wanted to do after the acquisition of Fox. Because once you buy Fox, you basically bought R-rated.
Right.
Yeah,
definitely.
So it's like, we own all this stuff. We got to do something with it. Mm-hmm. You don't just go to the grocery store and buy bread, mayonnaise, mustard, pickles, tomatoes, and turkey and say, and not make a sandwich. I mean, just point blank. That's something you just don't do. If you bought the stuff, do something with it.
Yep.
So, Star Wars, they came out the gate kicking. Y'all know how much I love my baby.
Yep.
Y'all know how much I love Ahsoka. She getting her own show, y'all. She getting her own show. Not just Ahsoka, but of course the show that we already knew was coming, the Obi-Wan show, with Hayden Christensen, which a lot of people were not expecting at all. And I'm gonna just go through this list of stuff first, and then I'm gonna let y'all speak on it. Cassian Andor, that we saw in Rogue One, get his own show. Star Wars: The Bad Batch getting their own animated series. Star Wars Visions is going to be a Japan created anime series with different anthology stories. Lando is getting the show. Star Wars: The Acolyte, from the High Republic era from a Sith point of view. A droid story. R2D2 CP3O has a lot to say at one time. They're helping a droid on his first little mission that only they know about. So you already know that's going to be hilarious. Now, it wasn't said if it was going to be animated or live action. We don't know. Either way, it's going to be funny. And this is just continuing Lucasfilm. Indiana Jones 5. They're getting ready to start filming that next year, and it's going to release in 2022. Taika Waititi is going to be doing his own Star Wars movie. And Patty Jenkins, the Wonder Woman director, is getting Star Wars Rogue Squadron. That's a list among lists. Jeremy, what you think about all this, man?
Yo, I didn't even know about the Taika Waititi one.
Yeah.
That's my guy. I just watched Jojo Rabbit the other day.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Jojo Rabbit, that is a movie that is hilarious, scary, and heart-pulling, all in the same hour and 30 minutes. So, and of course, he already showed his chops with Ragnarok.
Right.
You know, come on. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with it, because he has that sense of humor, balance, and his writing is impeccable. So I'm ready to see other people's take on the Star Wars universe. So let's get it, bro. Let's get it. And with Ahsoka, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It was too much detail in that Mandalorian.
Too much.
Episode.
That was a backdoor pilot.
Too much detail. Yeah, bro. It was. It was way too much attention to detail for it to be as awesome as it was. And also, I don't know about you guys, but at the end of that episode, when she watched the Razor Crest leave the planet, it was like she was saying, "I'll see y'all later."
That's it.
I don't know if anybody else caught that. It was like, I ain't gone, but I'll see you later. So yeah, I'm excited. We knew it.
Absolutely. Anything else on the list that caught your attention?
Rogue Squadron. That primarily because I was a huge fan of the game on N64. So it was one of my top 10 favorites, and I think it was slept on. But I've always liked the idea of being a pilot in that situation. I think about the Tuskegee Airmen and like how we had those stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's true they were known for fighting battles, but there was like a true sense of brotherhood and an allegiance. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always into the stories within a universe, the smaller, stories. And with stuff like this, you could write whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's no limits. And that's what I really like about the expanded universe is, true, the main storyline has its places and its key points that you have to follow, or try to retcon for that matter. But with Rogue Squadron, no pun intended, the sky's the limit. You can create these new characters. You can look at it from both sides. and that's what I really want. So let's go. I'm with it.
Clay.
Yeah, actually touching up on that, just going back to the Ahsoka episode of The Mandalorian, it's actually really interesting that it felt a lot like the same thing that we saw maybe in the Arrowverse, when you had the Flash or someone come over to the Arrowverse for an episode or two, then disappear out, and then you're like, uh-oh, we'll see you in your own spinoff.
the season, that season, the Arrow almost ends. Coming next year to the CW.
Exactly. So it feels like that, and it's actually kind of ironic that Arrow kind of had in the motif that Arrow is, the vigilante hunter or whatever. He started this whole thing with this expanded universe outside of DC's cinematic universe, and now you had the Mandalorian, who has a very similar aspect, doing the exact same thing, becoming the core foundation of all these spin-offs and everything linking back together and creating Star Wars' own expanded universe. So I am with that 110%. I was interested to see what was going on with Andor. Now, I love Rogue One. I thought it was actually a really good one. Was it necessary? No. But was it good? Yes. Therefore, a few of the characters really spoke to me, and I really enjoyed that. So Andor kind of excited me. The Obi-Wan show. Hayden Christensen.
Put some respect on that man's name.
I don't know what to feel. I honestly don't know what to feel, because if it's after all the events, especially of episode 3, and we're bringing Hayden Christensen back, supposedly he's supposed to be Vader at this point. Yep. So how are we gonna do that? Because I don't know. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if they do anything with him out of the suit, more so than him being in the suit. Who knows? They could go a different route with it altogether. But seeing what they're doing and evolving the Star Wars extended universe is really cool.
I mean, you really could do the stuff with him out of the suit, coming out of it, because how he looked in episode 6 was years and years and years and years and years being in that suit. And then if we go back to Clone Wars and we see that little portion, which is right after, not too long after everything happened in episode 3, you can still see he still got color in his face. You can still see the hair, like that episode where he fought Ahsoka. The helmet was cracked to a point where you could still see his hair in there. You could still see his face in there. You could still see the scar on his eye. So I think you could easily do that. And Hayden Christensen is old enough to give off that look.
Yeah, he is. I
mean, straight up. But go ahead, Clay.
No, we all thought he was going after Jumper. I mean, no one ever really saw Hayden Christensen after the fact.
Y'all know I didn't realize that was him and Jumper.
By the way, Jumper was not a bad movie.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
But it was definitely interesting to see him beefing with Samuel L. Jackson again.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. Threw him out the window.
And I thought that movie was great. And I did not realize that was Hayden Christensen.
Yep. I thought it was really good, but off that point. So yeah, you can definitely see some things going on with that, and I would love to see more from the extended universe. It's just, it's such a cool concept, because I love, not necessarily, I enjoy the core story of Star Wars, the opera between the Skywalker family, okay, whatever. Yeah, exactly. But then you get into the extended universe and everything that goes on with the Mandalorians and with bounty hunters and just the small people that really are touched more throughout this and really affect things in a bigger way. It's an awesome concept, and I think it needs to be expanded on more, for sure. And they're doing it. So
yeah, absolutely. So another thing that I want to touch on was the Children of the Blood and Bone. Now, one thing that I saw throughout this entire conference was that Disney is ramping up the diversity of their characters and their projects. Children of the Blood and Bone is written by an African-American writer, a female writer. It hit too many top bestsellers lists, and Disney is doing something with it, and I'm all for it. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. That makes me even want to go read the book and see what's going on with the book. National Geographic, we'll touch on that for a second. Chris Hemsworth is going to be doing Chris Hemsworth stuff in a show called Limitless. swimming in the Arctic, jumping off stuff, Chris Hemsworth stuff. I'm gonna watch it. I like Chris Hemsworth. I want to see him do stuff that I would never do. Will Smith was getting a show called Welcome to Earth. And Clay, I'm gonna let you take this one, man, because you.
That's an Independence Day reference, you know, when he cracks open the ship and the alien comes out at him. He knocks him one good time, says "Welcome to Earth," and then he sits on the head of the ship and he lights
a nice Will Smith impersonation.
That was appreciate it. Big Willie style over here. Sorry, that's terrible. But no, that was a really good little nod there. I think it's really cool. And of course, it's always good to see Will Smith out and about doing things, man.
Absolutely, he's gonna be going all over the earth looking at stuff. Yep. All over the earth. That's basically what you can expect from that. Then we got just a buttload of stuff that they want to do on Disney Plus. The Mighty Ducks is coming back in a series called Mighty Ducks: The Game Changers, where Emilio Esteban will be reprising his role. Not as the coach of the Mighty Ducks, but as a coach of the team that's got to face the Mighty Ducks. It's a ragtag team that he got to put together to face his old team that he used to coach. Uncle Jesse is getting a show called Big Shot, where he's a failed NCAA coach who's moving to a suburbia to teach a girls basketball team. So that's gonna be, I think that's gonna be pretty good. I dropped a small trailer from that. Beauty and the Beast is getting a prequel. They get a prequel. Hocus Pocus 2. They are actually going to do a Hocus Pocus 2. So that is coming. You guys remember the movie Three Men and a Baby? Zac Efron will be starring in that. They haven't named the other two people that would be in that movie. So people out there got cute babies, start putting your baby up for audition. They might get in this movie. Flora and Ulysses, a children's book I knew absolutely nothing about, where Flora has a superpowered squirrel named Ulysses. And in this trailer, we see this squirrel jumping through this glass and does a legit superhero landing. I'm like, what is this? I'm gonna watch it because it's gonna be on Disney Plus. Cheaper by the Dozen with the lovely Gabrielle Union is gonna be starring, so they bring back Cheaper by the Dozen. Night at the Museum is getting an animated movie coming to Disney Plus. Yeah, they're not playing. What do y'all think about some of these other things I just mentioned?
Just to touch bases, I just want to make one comment before I comment on one other thing, but the superhero landing thing. Did you know that squirrels, whenever they land on the ground, they actually do a superhero pose?
Sure, they ain't got no choice but to.
I mean, like if you watch a squirrel in slow motion go from a tree to the ground, they actually do a superhero pose. That's a fun little fact. Anyway, so
now you're gonna be making me watching squirrels outside my window while I'm at work.
Do it.
Yo, Squirrel Girl confirmed for the MCU.
Yeah! Played by none other than Lily from AT&T. Look it up. That's actually a thing.
Yeah, I know how much I love that girl.
Oh. Anyway, Melania Vaintrub. Anyway, so
spit the whole name out. Russian.
My girl, man. It's my girl. But anyway, so the Night at the Museum animated thing. I love that series of movies, man. I really did. I thought it was fantastic, and the things that they could do with it. Rest in peace, my man Robin Williams. So I think that's a really cool concept. That's all I'm really going to comment on.
What about you, Jim? Anything on this list caught your attention?
Clay just said it. Night at the Museum was like literally my favorite because those are my joints. I'm a huge Robin Williams fan, by the way. Even though he wasn't like a major role, I just love the fact that we had so many actors getting to do, homages to these caricatures of history. And so I'm with it. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, moving along, man. Jungle Cruise, we already knew about that from The Rock and Emily Blunt. I'm not too concerned about that. A Lion King prequel, live action prequel. What is it going to be about? Who knows? They re-mentioned the live action Little Mermaid. We already knew about that. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. It's going to be the cartoon Chip 'n Dale in a live action universe. So that's going to be pretty good. Live action Pinocchio with Tom Hanks as Geppetto. Peter Pan and Wendy will be getting a live action movie. That's something they started talking about last year because they got Yahara Sharita, I'm probably saying her name wrong, from Blackish. She'll be playing Tinkerbell. Disenchanted. If y'all remember, the Enchanted movie was the animated character fell through the portal, became live action, living in the real world. They're getting a sequel to that. Sister Act 3 with Whoopi Goldberg starring and producing with Tyler Perry at the helm as well. Please do not make this and Madea meets Sister Act.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's gonna work in their favor.
Yep.
With this particular type of movie, because you got to go back and look at 2.
Yeah.
And then when you think about it, because it was a musical.
Yeah.
And that's one thing with Sister Act that Tyler Perry got a lock on. Keep him away from the wigs though. But as far as understanding music and culture and spirituality, that's TP lane all day, bro.
Let him do it. And he can make that bank off of it, because I guarantee you it's gonna be filmed at Tyler Perry Studio.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You know you're gonna have a scene in church where Medea is gonna pop up. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Wait, does that make Medea Disney princess?
Oh Lord.
That was good. That was good.
Oh boy.
Medea's an MCU princess.
Yeah. Mr. Thanos. Not today. We're getting a Cruella movie with Emma Stone. So that's coming. Well, which we already knew. We saw set photos for that, a picture for that. She looks badass as Cruella. Baymax is getting a series when we really wanted a Big Hero 6 2. But it's cool.
We got it in Kingdom Hearts 3 and it wasn't that good.
We'll take this Baymax series, but apparently Baymax is gonna have different episodes where he's going to be what he was originally created for, which was a nurse droid. So he'll be going to different places, actually helping people out, doing what his original programming was. So I think that'll be funny. They did say it's a continuation after the events of the movie. It's not just like this little one-off or nothing like that. So it's set in the universe after the movie. Zootopia Plus. I did not know that Zootopia won an Oscar. Yeah, that is brand new information to me. But they're doing a continuation of Zootopia. They're going to be looking deeper into the different characters of that universe. Disney's Tiana will be getting a musical comedy series. I'm glad, because I feel like need to put some respect on Tiana's name, because it made her a fraud for about 20% of the movie. No, for about 85% of the movie.
That's about right.
So yeah, that's gonna be good. Last on this list is Moana's getting a musical comedy series, which both of those movies are truly enriched in music. So Jeremy, what are some of the things that stood out to you from this list?
Bruh, Moana, because I recently saw Moana 1. Bruh, all right, before everybody comes to my group, I am really late when it comes to Disney animated films, the newer ones, because I am nostalgia bound by like blood and bone. So it's kind of hard for me to get into the newer films. So it's like step by step. I think what kind of cracked my heart and got me into them was Coco. And you know,
man, I was in that movie there to cry.
Boy, I was at home just like I was ugly crying. So I'm excited. I will say this though. I know we're celebrating what they announced, but there was one thing I was hoping that would have gotten announced, but didn't. Tron. I need my sequel. Disney, run me my sequel, bruh. I need my Tron sequel, bruh. I've been patient.
Did that movie end on
a cliffhanger? Yes, it did.
Yeah, big time.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
And it wasn't even the original cut. It's when they added all the extended features, all the deleted scenes after the fact. You know, your boy walks up and he opens up a shirt. Flynn lives.
Thank you.
So that's that cut right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I give y'all that.